Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's Charity Village webinar. We will get started in just a moment. We just want to make sure that everyone has a chance to join us before we begin the session. We have people tuning in from across the country today, which is excellent. It's so nice to have all of you here. And with that, we will go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone to today's Charity Village webinar. My name is Mercedes, and I'm the Marketing and Communications Manager with Charity Village. As we are gathering here on a virtual platform, it is important to acknowledge that each of us is joining this webinar from the ancestral or unceded lands of the Inuit, Métis, and First Nation people. I'd like to acknowledge I'm speaking to you from the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Anishinaabe, which includes the Ojibwe of Fort William First Nation. Please join us in a moment of reflection as we recognize the Indigenous peoples as the stewards of this land. Let's acknowledge the mistakes and harm in our history and the ongoing injustice, and contemplate tangible actions each of us can take to move forward in a spirit of truth, reconciliation, and collaboration. For those who may be joining a Charity Village webinar for the first time, Charity Village is Canada's largest online job board for the nonprofit sector. In addition to our online job board, organizations can also post volunteer positions. So if you are looking for work or to recruit talent in the sector, Charity Village is a great place to start. We also have a ton of excellent resources for nonprofit professionals, including online courses, articles, fundraising tools, and free webinars like the one we are presenting today. As this webinar is experiential, we recommend that all participants have a pen and paper ready to fully participate in the session. Before we start today's webinar, I would like to quickly run through some housekeeping items. You may have noticed when you joined the webinar that you were automatically put on mute. Since we have hundreds of participants in today's session, it is important for us to minimize the amount of background noise so that everyone can clearly hear the presentation. But you can still ask questions and make comments using the question box at the bottom of the Zoom control panel. Look for that at the bottom of your screen. You can also email your questions to webinars@charityvillage.com. We will be taking questions at the end of the webinar, so please submit your questions as you think of them, and we will do our best to get to as many as possible. If you happen to encounter any technical issues with the webinar, whether it's viewing the presentation or with the audio, please let us know in the question box or by sending us an email. We will do our best to get any technical difficulties resolved as quickly as possible. But in a worst case scenario, please remember that we are recording today's webinar and we will send you the full recording by email tomorrow. So if you get called away or disconnected, you will still be able to view the full presentation. And with that, I would like to welcome our presenter for today, Julia James.
Thank you, Mercedes, for this warm welcome. And welcome you to this Nurture Career Clarity webinar today. Just as Mercedes said, it would be very helpful if you had pen and paper with you, because we will be very experiential. And there will be times where it will be very helpful for you to write down a few things. Also, I encourage you to turn off any other devices that you don't need, any programs that might be running on your computer that may distract you. So just that you can fully really take this time for yourself and take the information in fully. Beautiful. And to fully arrive here and now, I welcome you, if it's comfortable for you, to close your eyes and really take a moment to arrive here and now. Connecting with your breath and noticing the support underneath your feet, underneath your seat. And with that, really settling in and settling down and connecting to the land that you're on. And I am here on the land of the Lekwungen speaking people, the territory, the traditional territory of the Songhees and Esquimalt nations. And just as I'm connecting with the land I live on here, just receiving the gratitude, the savoring of the beauty, just all the ways in which the land nourishes me. And I welcome you to receive the nurturing and the nourishing of the land and the traditional territories that you live on. Just taking a moment to really connecting with the land, with the place, wherever you are right now. Noticing once again your breath flowing in and out of your body. And with every inhale, receiving the nurturing from the land, from the air. And with every exhalation, just letting yourself settle in a little bit more, fully receiving the support. Beautiful. So here and now, fully present for this webinar, I invite you to open your eyes. So welcome once again to Nurture Career Clarity. And today's session will be, as I mentioned already, very interactive and experiential. So I invite Mercedes to put up the first poll, because I would love to know if you are willing and ready to fully participate. This is quite exciting. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Okay. Well, we're at a 98% yes. So that's awesome. Wonderful. So that's great. I'm really excited for you. And yeah, so we'll dive right into it. And here's the roadmap for our experience today. So we will learn some things about how you can face your fears. Fears are a very natural part of this journey to career clarity. And so facing them and being with them is a really essential part of being successful on this journey. And then reconnecting with your confidence so that you can move forward and really nurture that inner clarity. Then we will explore 5 essential elements of career clarity. So really getting into the meat of all of that. And last but not least, there will be an opportunity to create a lasting impact so that you can carry all of this forward into your journey. So why is this topic important to you? I would love to know. Please put your answers into the Q&A. And don't be shy. Again, this is full participation. You want balance for personal growth. I suffer from imposter syndrome. You're in the right place. This is good. To do God's will. Yes, really wanting to live on purpose. Exploring career change. Yes, you're in the right place. Seeking career clarity. Absolutely. You're right here. And wanting balance, more balance. That's yes, absolutely. Transition time in my heart and not sure next steps. Yes, you are right in the right place, right time. To gain more confidence, absolutely, you are in the right place. Personal balance, clarity, to become a better leader. Yes, you too are in the perfect place. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, so you are in a voluntary career transition. That's also really lovely. You are choosing this. Yes, you're in the right place. Feeling stuck, want more development and use of my skills and experience. Yes, you're in the right place. Thank you for being here. I have a very eclectic resume, and yes, you too are in the right place. There is a good place for you. Feeling still stagnated. Yes, This will change. Not feeling clear and needing balance. Beautiful. Thank you for being here. Transitioning careers. I feel lost and don't know where to go next. You two are in the right place. Thank you. Feeling stuck. Feeling stuck. Trying to understand where would be best for me with balance and finances. Yes, we need both of those. Fulfillment. Beautiful. Continuous learning. Balance and imposter syndrome. Beginning a new job search. Yes, you're all in the right place. Yeah, also the age thing. I'm trying to explore career options, and I'm 57. No problem. You are in the right place. No longer happy in my current role. Congratulations on taking that step. Career clarity and career advancement. Yes. Beautiful. Yes, want to know that my career has meaning. Yes, direction and clarity. Yes, yeah. So you're all absolutely in the right place, and there's more streaming in, and I really appreciate all your participation. And just want to assure you, yes, here we are, diving into all of this wonderful material together. And so thank you for choosing to be here. And yeah, well. Move right on. So now, just before we dive in deeper, this may sound like a silly question, but like, why would you listen to me? I often want to know when I'm participating in a webinar or really attending any kind of presentation. I want to know what makes this person credible. Why should I listen to them? So first of all, my own quest for career clarity. This takes us back 22 years now. And I was in a place where I was really stuck. And I was in a field and in a job that was really draining the life out of me. And I was not happy. And I didn't really know how to change that. But a friend recommended coaching. I didn't even know what coaching was. But I was, yeah, curious and also really wanted a change. And through the coaching journey, I found my own clarity, and that was to become a coach myself. And now, well, over 20 years, I've been coaching people through positive career transformations. So I really have a lot of experience under my belt, and it's been an absolute joy supporting so many people on this absolutely wonderful transformational journey. And of course, the best credential really is all my clients' success stories, and I will share a few for your inspiration along this journey as we are moving through the webinar. But back to the question, like, why listen to me? Because I help you listen more deeply to yourself. And that's really also what this webinar is about. You listening more deeply to yourself. So with that, let's dive right in. Are you willing for this to be a fun adventure? And it may sound kind of, curious. Often when we think about career and work, well, it can feel more like a struggle. It can feel more like something that we have to do. Not necessarily a fun adventure. However, if we bring the intention that this could be a fun adventure, that we're willing to embrace this as a fun adventure, well, a whole lot changes. The whole atmosphere and energy from which we embark changes. So my question to you, are you willing for this to be a fun adventure? And we have another poll, so please, Mercedes, bring that up. So please put your answers in. Oh, this looks very exciting again. Yay for you. Yeah, this is great. I'm so happy to see it. I'm so happy to see that you're all, or almost all, on board with this concept of embracing career clarity journey as a fun adventure. 98% again. Yay. Yay for you. Okay. Yeah. 98% said yes to that. So I'm excited for you. And now, this is one of those stories that I wanted to share. Catherine was really such a wonderful example of, before we started coaching, she was in a place of not so sure if she, where she wanted to go. And then through the coaching, relatively quickly, she made a very big decision for a career change. And she was quite hesitant about that before we started coaching, but she really flung herself into it with open arms. So really embracing this, her career journey as an adventure was a really major part of creating her success. Yeah. And so embarking on your career clarity journey does take courage. And even though it's a fun adventure, it still takes courage. And that means that facing your fears is a really important part of the adventure. And what we want to do, I brought this little basket. So there's a basket on the slide, and I brought this little basket, and we usually keep coasters in this, but today it will serve to contain all your fears. So what we want to do right now is name all the fears that are coming up for you as you are contemplating, as you are exploring these next steps on your journey. And so please put them in the Q&A, and as you write them down, imagine you're putting them in the box, and I will then put them right into the box for you. So please get going. And of course, there's one fear that pops up for me. What if you don't put anything into the box? Well, whew, in the box it goes. Okay, and here they come. So there's doubt. In the box it goes. Missing out on opportunities. Whew, in the box it goes. Fear of failure, big one. Whew, in the box it goes. Uncertainty, in the box it goes. Financial fears, whew, big one. Job security, whew, big one. Failure and change, whew, in the box it goes. I'm not worthy, that's a big one. Whew, I'm not good enough, in the box they go. Failure, lots of failure, whew, in there. Fear of interviewers, whew, in the box it goes. Imposter syndrome, in the box it goes. That I won't be good enough and smart enough. Whew, in the box it goes. Not enough. Whew, in the box it goes. Yeah, losing status and income, in the box it goes. Whew, being unemployed, that's a big one, in the box it goes. Ageism, personal finances and personal happiness is, I guess, not having them, that's a fear. Whew, in the box it goes. Not succeeding. Whew. Okay, there's lots more coming, and let's just put them all in there. Whether I've named your fear or not, they're all in the box. Good. All fears are in the box, and just notice how it feels to have them all contained in this little box. So I invite you for a moment to connect with the compassion that lives in your heart. And I invite you to become a compassionate witness of your fears. Let's imagine your fears that are contained in this box are little kittens or little puppies, depending on what you love most. And just feeling the compassion in your heart for those little puppies and kittens. Let's beam the compassion over there into the baskets of kittens and puppies, little fear kittens, little fear puppies. And the more you beam your compassion over there, the more it expands in you. It is not depleting you, quite the contrary. Beautiful. And what are you noticing now in your body as you are holding your fears in their baskets with compassion? Please put it in the Q&A. What are you noticing now that your fears are contained? More control, hope, beautiful. Acceptance and validation, release, powerful, relief. You're feeling more lighthearted, beautiful. Feel calmer, calmer, awareness. I can handle uncertainty, beautiful. I relax, security, vulnerability, yes. This took courage to put it in there, and yes, it is a vulnerable thing to do. That was amazing. I feel calmer. I'm so happy for you. That's wonderful. Relaxation, safety, determination, hope, feeling lighter, optimistic, and nurtured. Beautiful. Feeling bad for the kittens and puppies. Yes. Acceptance and release. Stronger, settled, beautiful, peaceful, a bit more hopeful. By inaction, the fears are already here. Change can only be better. Yes. Good insight. Beautiful. Space. I feel gratitude. That my question isn't reality, as there is a lot out there to consider, and I loved all my jobs previously. Beautiful, beautiful insight. Confidence. That's wonderful. Okay, so much more coming, and I will just stop sharing here, but I really appreciate all your participation. It's wonderful to hear your voices and the shift that you've been noticing. So powerful, so powerful. Yes. And this is another story, success story of one of my clients. And for her, it was indeed the major shift that happened when she faced her fears, when she connected with those fears and didn't let them run the show anymore. And so this can happen for you too. So be very beautiful. Now we're ready to reconnect with confidence. So confidence is such a wonderful thing. And some of you already have been feeling more confident with containing those fears and holding them in compassion. And now to further reconnect with your confidence, it's really helpful to remember a good experience. And we've all had them, and they don't have to be career related. A good experience has 3 elements. 1, you are good at what you're doing. you enjoy what you're doing and you're proud of what you're doing or what you have done, you're feeling a sense of accomplishment as you've done that activity. So I'll just share two examples. And again, they are not career related, because I think often when we just focus on the career first, we can get intimidated. So I'm just going to share one of my good experiences. So here's my little owl. Well, guess what? I created this. And this is one of the things that I just love doing, is creating something out of nothing. So this little owl was created out of an old sweater, and I just felt inspired and yeah, created it. And now it is my companion when I do webinars like this one. So, well, I really enjoyed doing it. It's obviously, well, I feel I was good doing it. I was good at it, but that's kind of, sometimes we can be very judgmental on ourselves. So in terms of that whole piece of being good at something, again, I would say that's not the most important criteria, but the feeling of that you're good at something, and that it feels like an accomplishment when you've done it. So this is my little owl, and that's one of those things, one of those good experiences for me. And I also want to share a good experience of my husband. This was, I take you back many years. It was in the early dating stages of our partnership. And we were at my home, and it was in the evening, and I was feeling a little grumpy. I was tired, I was hungry, and I still had a pile of dishes to do there. And I told my husband, or was just my I guess my new boyfriend at the time. I said, I'm just hungry and tired, and then there's all this dishes to do, and he just said, well, may I do your dishes? And he had this glow in his eyes, and I was like, really? You want to do my dishes? And he said, yes. And so then he put on the rubber gloves and he fluffed up the soap. And I could really see and feel the joy that he experienced doing the dishes. And to this day, he still loves doing the dishes. It's his meditation, and it gives him that feeling of accomplishment. The kitchen is nice and clean, and he truly enjoys doing it. So it can be really a small thing, but just think of one good experience right now and write it down. This is where your pen and paper comes in handy. Write down this good experience. You can just take a moment to jot down a few notes just to really remember that experience and how it felt for you. Really reconnecting with the good feeling of that good experience. Beautiful. And then please share in the Q&A, how do you feel as you reconnect with that good experience? No stress. Beautiful. Positive and happy. Accomplished. Warm. Optimistic. Completing a project successfully. Great feeling. Joy. Proud. Calm. Pure joy. Happy. Proud of myself. Wonderful. Valued. Accomplished. Amazing. Efficient, reassured, confident, always well with the world, beautiful, motivated, optimistic, excited by the experience and wanting to do it again. Yes, purposeful, energized. In God's perfect will. I'm feeling pretty anxious right now, so hard to get into that place. Yes, it can be sometimes. Thank you for sharing that too. It can sometimes be hard, but it gets easier with practice. More positive, good experience, helping other elders feel happy. Beautiful. Yes. Any day I wake up, know the value of breathing and will be healthy. Beautiful. Wonderful. So I'm sensing a lot of confidence and happiness in all your answers. So thank you for sharing all of that. Amazing. Okay. And for those of you who want more confidence and reconnecting more powerfully with that confidence, I have a confidence booster mini retreat where I take you on a guided journey to revisit all those good experiences that are actually stored deeply in your unconscious. So right now you are remembering those that are more on the forefront in your conscious awareness. And there's lots more to uncover. And the more you reconnect with those positive experiences, with those good experiences that you enjoyed, where you feel you were good at doing it and that made you feel proud, the more you boost your inner confidence. So I invite you to take a moment to, request your confidence booster mini retreat from me. So simply contact me, juliajames.ca/contact. And then in the subject line, just put boost, because you will get a boost. And me receiving your email, I will also get a boost. So beautiful. Yes. And I believe Mercedes will also put this in the chat so you can easily get access to this. Very good. And now want to share another success story. This is Rachel. And she had actually been stuck for 7 years and had been agonizing over her lack of direction and tried different jobs and nothing really worked. She even tried working with other career coaches, but nothing seemed right for her. And when she started receiving the support through coaching, everything changed. And so she really reconnected with her confidence in a big way. And even just 3 months into the coaching, she had chosen a new career. And that was based on something that she really loves doing. And she found a job in that field. And so it was hugely rewarding to witness her positive transformation. So just wanted to share that with you, especially if it feels like it's been a long time. This can change very quickly. So now I'm going to share about the 5 essential elements of career clarity. And for that, I invite you to get your pen and paper. And what I would like you to do is just tune into with each of these elements. Give yourself just give yourself a number on the scale from 0 to 10. With 0, not at all, and 10, completely. Just so that you gauge where you are at with each of these elements. This is really about building awareness and growing awareness of where you're at. And just please don't judge yourself. If you have some low numbers, please don't judge yourself. Welcome the clarity that comes from noticing where there's more growth, where there's more awareness that needs to be nurtured. And so right now, again, this is just to build your awareness. So the first element of career clarity is really claiming your purpose. The thing that you are here to do some important work. And what is it? What is the difference that you are uniquely designed to bring to the world? And so notice that this is really something, the purpose, the why you're here, is something that actually deeply nurtures you, something that makes you feel alive, that makes you feel great. So there's a lot of things, obviously, in the world that need doing. A lot of things when we listen to the news that are out of whack, where we feel like, we should do something about that. So I really want you to differentiate between those things where you feel like you have to do it, you should do it, and the heaviness that comes with that, and the things that you really want to contribute to, where it feels like, even though it may be hard work, it would be uplifting for you to give in that way. to give of yourself in that way. So really connecting with that and noticing on a scale from 0 to 10, how much have you really claimed that purpose? How much clarity do you really have on what that purpose is for you? Just give yourself that number, and we'll move on to the living of your values. Living your values, this is such an important element, and it really is that piece of being true to yourself. You know, it feels like you are in alignment when you're living your values, when you're honoring those elements that are most important to you, when you are living true to who you are, then you are really living your values. And sometimes, it feels like we're living our values, maybe with our family and maybe with our friends. But then when it comes to work, it feels like, okay, we're putting on a mask, we're putting on a facade, we're not really showing up. And so if that happens for you, you're not truly living your values everywhere you go. And maybe you're also not in the place where you are aligned with your values. Maybe the values of the company that you work for or the organization are not quite aligned with your values. So again, in that element of living your values, just give yourself an honest number from 0 to 10 where you are standing right now. Good. And so now the third element, envision your fulfilling career. This is really being clear on where you're headed. What's the direction you're pursuing? What is the path that you're on? And can you see yourself clearly in the future, actually moving forward and creating and contributing? So the clearer the vision is of where you want to go, the easier it is actually to move forward and take these steps. And again, oftentimes in the beginning, we can be very much disconnected from that and not knowing it at all where we're headed. And that's quite all right. It's just like, then just give yourself a lower number. Honesty is important with this, like being honest with yourself. So give yourself a number from 0 to 10 and vision your fulfilling career. Beautiful. And now accessing your true strengths. These are the things, just like we did with the confidence, that you are good at, that you enjoy doing. This is very important, that you enjoy doing, because sometimes we can be really good at something. However, it drains us. And so we need to have both those components. We need to enjoy doing it, and we need to be good at it for it to be a true strength. And also, we need to have that feeling of accomplishment when we've done it. So just noticing how clear you are on what your true strengths are, and also how much do you access them? How much do you actually use these beautiful strengths on a day-to-day basis? So again, give yourself that honest number between 0 and 10. Good. And now releasing the fears that are stopping you. Well, we've done quite a bit of work on that today already. It's an ongoing work because, again, you're on a courageous journey, and that means releasing and facing and containing your fears in compassion ongoingly is an important element of moving forward. So again, just give yourself a number from 0 to 10 where you stand right now. And so you may have noticed that these 5 essential elements of career clarity actually spell out clear together. So these are the 5 essential elements to move forward and to continue nurturing that career clarity within you. Now, I want to give you the experience of having arrived. So wherever you are right now, just let it all go. And if it feels comfortable for you, I would like to invite you to close your eyes one more time so that you can truly experience this sneak peek preview. And just again, connect with the chair that you're sitting on, noticing your breath flowing in and out. feeling the support of the chair, the ground underneath you. And so now let yourself move into the future in a time where you have landed, where you have arrived on the career path that is true and right for you. The career path that nurtures you in many ways, where you feel valued, where you feel on purpose, contributing in meaningful ways, living your purpose, living your values, fully aligned, feeling valued for your contributions, feeling energized and accomplished by everything you do, feeling that excitement in the morning to get up and do your work, contribute in the ways that you're doing. And noticing also how this joy and this fulfillment that you're experiencing in your career ripples into all areas of your life, how it nurtures your relationships and your family and your circle of friends. Beautiful. So just let yourself drink that in and notice how it feels to be on your path, to be living your purpose. And please share as you open your eyes, please share in the Q&A what that's like for you. Liberating, comfort, accomplished. I feel at peace and balanced, tranquility, proud and energized. I feel lighter, joyful, energized, excited, proud, open, enthusiastic, valued, thankful, less worried. Beautiful, peaceful, whole again, wonderful. Yes, and there's also hard to imagine. Yes, thank you for your honesty. Peace, calm, serenity, energized. I matter. Love seeing that. Beautiful. Joy. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. And this is so nice. So just know that you can revisit this future time anytime in the future when you need another boost. And so we're coming back to present time. And I want you to self-diagnose your top challenge, the challenge that gets in the way of you actually finding your way forward. Do you feel stressed and overwhelmed? Are you feeling stuck and spinning your wheels? Do you feel bored or disengaged? And maybe it's even something completely different. So I invite Mercedes to put up the poll, and I invite you to participate. And in case it is something other, then I would also invite you to put that in the Q&A. Yeah, fear seems like another, like one of the others is fear, drained, apathy, procrastination. Yeah. Conflicted about two different paths. And yes, that is so common. Afraid to do it alone. Yes. And you don't have to do it alone. I think that's really important. to remember that you don't have to go it alone. Lack of communication skills. So again, this is the fears, paralyzed by decisions I have to make. Yeah. And again, you don't have to go it alone. Overwhelmed and a bit bitter. Yeah. All those things can get in the way. Yeah. So those are big challenges. And I just looking at the numbers here, they're very actually quite similar. So stressed and overwhelmed is the biggest one, 51%. Stuck and spinning my wheels, 45%. And bored and disengaged, 27%. And then 20% other. And so I read some of those. And so, yeah, thank you for sharing. And again, thank you for recognizing, because this is that you self-diagnosing what is it that's actually stopping you from moving forward is in itself very powerful step. And so what are your next steps? What are you going to do to overcome this challenge? What are your next steps? What are you doing to overcome this challenge? And I would like you to again put that in the Q&A. And it is also okay to not know, and receiving that confidence booster mini retreat could be a possible first step. Put myself out there, take the risks, plan ahead. My first step was joining this webinar. Congratulations. Yes, that is a powerful step. To confront my fears head on. Yes, congratulations. That's a positive next step. Staying positive. It's very powerful. Honestly, I have no clue. This is confusing. Yes, thank you for sharing that too. And it is one of those things, again, where you don't have to figure this out alone. Constantly striving to learn. That is a very powerful step. Reassess and make a plan. Powerful. Attending sessions like this. Yes. Talk with other women in similar situation. Very powerful to break that isolation. Congratulations. Okay. Baby steps. I love that. It's really about taking small, consistent steps rather than leaping. One step at a time. Yeah, my first step was this webinar. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, thank you for sharing all of that. So, if you feel it in your heart and you are truly ready for career clarity adventure with support, you don't have to do this alone. If you're willing to invest in yourself and if you want to create a lasting impact, then I offer you this opportunity to receive a career clarity consult with me. And you can book it at juliajames.me/clear. And that will also be in the chat for you. And so I invite you to book your career clarity consult now. And what you will get is a conversation, a one-on-one conversation with me, where we really look at your particular situation and the challenges that are getting in your way and the goals that you have for yourself, where you really want to be. And yeah, and then we'll together create what the next steps are for you. So I welcome you to take this gift, receive this gift. And it's truly my gift for you. So feel free to receive that. Yeah. And actually, I want to at this point also share from my own journey. 22 years ago when I was stuck in that job and in that field that wasn't right for me. And it was really hard. And I was on top of all of that. It was also very toxic work environment. And yeah, it wasn't easy. I truly felt oftentimes in the morning that I would like to take the bus in the other direction rather than to my workplace at the time. However, as I received the support through coaching and as I was starting to move forward on this journey to my career clarity, I realized more and more that the challenges I was experiencing at my job and the challenges I was experiencing in general were actually blessings in disguise. They were really kind of happening for me rather than against me. And they were sort of spurring me on, giving me that little bit like, like a push to ultimately move forward, giving me that wake up call that something needed to change, that I needed to change. And so I hope that you can also begin to see all the challenges that you're currently facing as these blessings in disguise, and that they're maybe just meant to wake you up and stir you up to the things that you're truly meant to do and help you take these steps forward on your journey to career clarity. And I want to leave you with one of my favorite quotes. And this is, don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and then go do that. Because what the world needs is more people who have come alive. This is a quote by Howard Thurman. And I feel that that really encapsulates the journey to career clarity. It's really about asking what makes you come alive and to begin do that. It can be in small ways, one step at a time, but start doing what makes you come alive. So with that, I will hand it over to Mercedes to facilitate the Q&A.
Thank you very much, Julia. So the first question, how do you recommend that job seekers ensure their values align with their career path?
Thank you for that question. So how do you ensure that your values align with your career path? So really it is, first of all, getting clear on what are your values. Sometimes we have a sense that we know what our values are, but it's really about connecting with what is it that makes you angry, or what is it that makes you, but what is it that rubs against you that often brings out the clarity for your values most. So the things that really irk you and the things that really frustrate you are often the things that are really at odds with your values. And by contrast, that's often where you find, oh, like let's say you really get frustrated, like I really get frustrated when people are idling their cars. And what that means is ultimately, I really value, respect, I value sustainability, and I value quiet. Like there's all kinds of things that I actually value that come out when I notice what ultimately irks me. And so this is the same with career. When you are in a work environment and it doesn't feel quite right, it irks you, really getting curious about what about it irks you and noticing what are the values that are compromised. And once you get clear on the values that get compromised, then looking at how would these values be met? How can I, first of all, live by these values? Because oftentimes when we're not living by those values, well, then we can't really find the alignment. When we start living day by day more about our own values, we will naturally attract a match in the outside world, including in our career.
Thank you very much, Julia. And the next question, what are the best practices for combating your fears in the job search process?
Yes. Well, I feel like we've actually learned a very powerful process here today together. So giving your fears the containment they need. Finding a beautiful basket or some kind of a container where you can put your fears into, and holding them in compassion like we did with that idea that they're really little scared kittens, little scared puppies. They need your love, they need your compassion, and they need to be contained. And they should not be running the show. So often when we don't take the time and when we don't nurture and give ourselves that time to actually notice what are we currently scared, name it, contain it, then what happens is that actually fear is the one on the driver's seat. And you don't want that to happen. You want a more powerful part of you to actually be traveling this journey to career clarity. Fears will be with you, but they need to be nicely contained for you to move forward. And again, this is something where it's often helpful to receive support, on this journey. It's like you don't have to do this alone. So receiving support as you navigate with your fears can be also a very powerful step.
Thank you, Julia. And the final question, do you have any advice for nonprofit professionals seeking to change career paths?
I think that's a very broad question. So for nonprofit professionals and seeking to change career paths, it could be the question like if you want to move out of nonprofit, that could be one question, or if you want to change within the nonprofit sector. So either way, I would say the most important thing is get clear inside as to what you truly want. What is the career path that truly feels like it aligns with your sense of purpose, with where you can really shine with your unique strengths, where you can live your values, where you can be of service, and where you can feel valued? Those are the questions to ask. It's very much inner questions. Once you find that inner clarity, again, you will find the match in the outside world. And again, finding that inner clarity can be one of the hardest things to do on your own because we're really very good at standing in our own way. And we all have blind spots. And often the hardest thing to see your own beautiful strengths as clearly as an unbiased coach can see them for you and help you see them, and then act and take action and move forward in the way that in that direction that is most powerful for you.
Thank you very much for presenting such an informative webinar. Do you happen to have any final comments before we sign off today?
Well, thank you so much, Mercedes, for hosting, and thank you, each and every one of you, for participating, for your wholehearted participation, and really taking this experience today fully in. I really appreciate your presence. And my final comment for you is that really just realize that you are not alone on this journey forward, and you don't have to do this alone. And that this can be a fun adventure if you allow it to be. So anytime you find yourself frustrated or stuck, just remembering that this is a journey and you can turn this into a fun adventure. You don't have to do this alone. And it can be fun.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Julia. I just wanted to remind everyone that you will receive a follow-up email tomorrow with a link to the webinar recording. Please feel free to share this link with your colleagues. The email will also include a survey link that you can fill out with your feedback on today's webinar. You should see a survey link pop up right here in Zoom following the session as well. On behalf of Charity Village, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you'll join us for our next free webinar, How to Save Time and Win More Grants Using ChatGPT. You can find more information on this and all of our upcoming webinars at charityvillage.com/webinars. Thanks again for joining us. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.